Hi y'all, this is Keri Stephens. I'm on faculty in the Department of Communication Studies here at UT Austin. And today I want us to talk about what's the difference between a popular press article and a scholarly article. So quite often I ask my students to not just Google something quickly on the internet, but to actually use research databases to support their claims and to write their research papers. And a lot of times we struggle with how do I identify what you mean about the difference between popular press and scholarly? Well, popular press articles quite often are written by experts. They're usually the things that appear early in your search engines, but we don't always know who wrote them, what their credibility was, what their credentials were. And now that we have blogs and so many other ways to post information on the internet, it's creating even more of a challenge to decide what's credible information today. Well, this difference between what we talked about there, which is popular press, and scholarly, is really what a lot of my former students say has helped them in their jobs, because they're viewed by their employers as somebody who's sharp and can determine the credibility of a source. So what's scholarly mean? Well, essentially, we use the term scholarly and often peer-reviewed interchangeably. The idea behind a scholarly piece of work is it's published in a type of research outlet where it's peer-reviewed by other experts in the field. So I'm a researcher in addition to being a teacher. And so whenever my research gets finished and I send it out to a journal to get published, they send it out to 3 of my peers. And those peers make comments, sometimes pretty brutal comments, about all the things that they want changed in my article to make sure that it represents the best data knowledge at the time and the most rigorous research. Once you go through that process, what happens is they agree to publish your work, you hope, or it gets rejected and doesn't appear in that particular scholarly outlet, and they publish your work. Well, one of the nice things when something appears that's peer-reviewed is that you know that other experts have looked at that work and deemed it appropriate to publish in that journal. Now, journals do vary quite a bit in terms of the rigor that they expect and what type of research they publish. However, this is a great rule of thumb, and a lot of times your classes will give you more details about this difference between scholarly and popular press. So now that you understand a little bit of that, let me share with you one of the most common comments that students make to me whenever they're looking through the databases to find scholarly work. They say, wait, I've got to pay for it if it's scholarly. And I say, no, you do not. You know, if you're going to the University of Texas, you've actually already paid for access to these articles through your tuition. We have a fantastic library. Our library does a great job of getting us access to the latest research. If you go through the library's website and really hone in on the correct databases, almost always you will not be paying for these articles. And if it pops up and says that we don't have a subscription to it, there's an easy workaround. The library will help you get an interlibrary loan of that article. Quite often they do it very quickly. You can fill all that out online, super quick process. However, the caveat here is you usually can't ask for an interlibrary loan the night before an assignment is due. So if you procrastinate, yes, sometimes you can't get access to those articles, but if you'll do this a few weeks ahead of time, and even if we don't have it in our library, you can probably get it through an interlibrary loan. So what I'd like to leave you with today is hopefully I've demystified this scholarly versus popular press articles a little bit, at least enough where you can start asking intelligent questions, going on and looking at the library website, and then, you know, a future thing that you'll want to learn is how to really use those databases to help you hone in on high quality research. So have fun looking through those databases. Thanks so much.